My name is Paola, and thank you for the time to record a very short lightning talk on the topic of research in neurodiversity from a researcher perspective. So, I'm a systems analyst and researcher. I got a PhD in Strathclyde from Strathclyde University, and I have worked as an analyst and a lecturer and a specialist in information systems. And I always had a singular worldview, which somehow has is what has shaped my life experience and also my experience as a researcher. And I knew that I was unique, but I didn't really worry about it until I started analyzing the challenges that I was facing in life in terms of professional challenges. I didn't quite fit the stereotype, and as such, it was difficult for me to put across my worldview. So I started researching. So what's so special about my worldview? And then I realized, yes, I have a unique way of looking at things. Luckily, there was the option for me to become a researcher rather than just to be a dropout or be completely frustrated as to the fact that I see things differently. I thought that it's an advantage. So I always thought that what is considered possibly a pathology is actually one of the things that has made me unique, valuable. So I take the view that the neurodiversity can be pathology in a way, like it can be associated with physiological and cognitive and psychological challenges in terms of learning, communication, and behavior. But at the same time, it doesn't have to be. There are an increasing number of people who are acknowledging that they are at the other spectrum of neurodiversity, where they are just unique people, and it's the what can be considered a neurodiversity is in fact what makes them individuals. And I like to take this stance throughout my research and throughout this talk. So, being a complex systems researcher, I take the complex systems view. People say, what is it? It's when you look at reality or as a system, but a reality even as a system of codependent dynamic variables that generate emergent behavior. So for me, neurodiversity is not just one thing, it's a many things, and in particular, there is a circularity, multiple and circular causality, asymmetric. There is asymmetry, there is adaptation and predictability. So every characteristic that you find in complex systems, you find in neurodiversity, in particular neurodiversity research, which is very interesting space. So I use this picture from another paper. So what am I concerned with? Neurodiversity, neuroplasticity, interaction with technology. So I have seen, again, observing myself, how my brain reacts and adapts to the technology, in particular to the browser configuration. So, by being able to open multiple browsers, multiple tabs in the browser, and in fact, by having multiple browser on the system, my brain is spreading out. My attention is spreads out into different threads, and I think this has aggravated my attention deficit disorder big time. At the same time, it has also given me the opportunity to continue to study multiple fields of research in parallel. So, which is taking me to a very strange space where I'm struggling a bit to find the definition of what do you research and how, um, and to keep attention onto one thing, because but I do think that's it can be an advantage, and you will see the advantages when you look at my if you're interested in looking at my publication list, you will see that they are span quite wide range of topics. So I'm also looking at the neurodiversity as a response to a dysfunctional society. So do people develop I mean, accept for the physiological? So there is some neurodiversity which is caused by the fact that the brain there is a problem with the synapses, so the brain is not functioning, and that's a type of neurodiversity that I do not study. But the neurodiversity, which is a result of some behavioral issue, then I think it can develop as a response to some circumstance. And then correlation of neurodiversity with psychological abuse and trauma, yes, there is evidence of that. Societal implications, how to handle disclosure. I have a whole list of topics. Organizational policies, how do we handle a lot of open questions. I'm looking at biomarkers. So there are apparently biomarkers, but I have reservations. This is an image taken from the biomarkers in your diversity paper, and it shows a bit like a complex system view. My problems are data acquisition, research methods, balancing research protocols with pragmatic organizational improvement approaches. So, can we actually say, oh, this is research and this is organizational improvement? Not really. As a researcher, have I find difficult to distinguish between my natural curiosity of understanding myself and others, my right to understand myself and others, and how I fit in, and how to adapt, and how to behave, and why is that so, and the formalisms or clinical research protocols that demand, different approaches. So I'm taking systemic approaches, which means big big mixed bag of everything. In particular, I'm looking at coping strategies, and it would be very nice to connect with others on this topic. So please do get in touch. Thanks for listening.